Ladies and gentlemen, this stream is now in session. Obi-Wan362, Gamer in Law presiding. And welcome back to the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Shall continue in our adventure of the adventure of the unbreakable speckled band. Who knows what mysteries await us? Finished up this room, so now it's time for record. Bowl. History, aha! Yeah, so I thought we were. Time to get to the first class passageway. Look at that piece of cheese on that mousetrap. 9th of January, 7:48 a.m. SS Buria, first class cabin passageway. Whew. I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. This is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, it's about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? It must be awful. Oh, look over there! It's another crewman keeping watch. He looks enormous, if he is sitting down. The door next to them leads to the second-class accommodation. Suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. Suppose. Like people in handcuffs? Naruto-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. Okay, 1, accurate. 2, rude. Would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. Been at sea for 2 weeks already. Haven't left that room. Well, yes, I know. Thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. Ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. Must have been a very trying time for you. Aww, she does care. Please don't give me that pitying look. Let's look about. This looks like a plan of the SS Buria. It shows each deck. Look. Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. That's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, it's really quite simple, Naruto-san. It is? Yeah. Obviously. Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan? Yes. They're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? She's got you there, old boy. They've been floating happily on the sea ever since the gods created them. No, yeah, you can't argue with that logic. Well, I suppose. There's no. I'm sorry, Bubbles. You don't have a microphone. Nobody can hear you. Oh. It makes perfect sense. She's got a good head on her shoulders. Good logic. Huh, a trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Does Did Japan not have cheese? When did Japan get cheese? Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. I mean, there's a piece right there, but, like... You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. Trap will shut on your fingers. Really? But... so you're right. Nope, we had, like, a cheese product. Does it... It's cheese. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? Oh, I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks. It's because it was leftovers, right? You're not hungry. I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. She's so nice. Why is she so nice? First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's. Well, he's dead now, so it's my cabin. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. Wow. 1 second she's being nice and trying to find me food. Next second she's like, you live in the wardrobe. You gotta make a stowaway feel small, don't ya? Small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way. Oh. You want me to come pay you a visit? 500? How many cabins are there? Pay her a visit. Hey. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. But what if we touched it? Oh, an alarm. It says press only in times of emergency. Oh, look, I don't read English, alright? Looks like it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. The last part seems unlikely. I like that. It does? Let me see. No! No! Bad! This is an emergency situation! Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. Do you see an instruction manual? I don't see an instruction manual. If you're to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. Ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Wow. Wow. Okay. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever is in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask! Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, I can see your belly button. Oh. Why do you have stripes on your face? Excuse me. We, need to get inside this cabin here. Sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Though this man's version is definitely more effective. Doesn't look like he's going to let us pass. That's a problem. Hey, buddy. Excuse me, but Can I ask you something? You? You little stowaway murderer? Is that a no? That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Hi, good day, Mr. Sailor. So sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You? You little third-class lady's maid? Ho! Oh. You seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Sato-san. I'm not sailor. My mother gave me name. I'm Senor Crewman Biff Stroganoff. Gosh dang it, how dare you. Exactly, Pump, how dare they? Why is his name Stroganoff? Stroganoff doesn't make it better, it somehow makes it worse. Beef Stroganoff. His name is Beef Stroganoff. How do I hate these games so much? Whew. Best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff? About this... Don't start with me, Bubbles. About this first-class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Boreas steamship. For very important persons. Sort of very important persons. Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow, I let stupid stowaway inside. Exactly, Pomp. Rude. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean. But Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you? If I may, just wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Duh. Yeah. Bummernickel, why are you yelling? Sudato-san? Did you understand that? It sounded like, duh. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes. It's tantalizing. What can you tell me about... Wow, what just got... Can you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asagi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is a very important Western gentleman. Grimsby Roylott. Am I getting that one? Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with the murder of a student boy. And how can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in a lowly student from insignificant Far East islands. Rude. You might be right, but yeah, harsh, man. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? You don't know. That is not your business. Come think of it. Even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, I've been in Kazuma's cabin for the entire time. I never once heard anything from the next door cabin. or even felt like there's anyone there. Because he's dead. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, it must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. I heard yes. Also, I'm sorry to literally anybody who actually has a Russian accent. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganov? Da. All time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. Cool. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. Did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Nyet! Seems like a safe guess. Sada-san? Did you understand that? It was clearly a no. Yeah, no. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. You didn't hear any strange noises, or sense anything was wrong in some way, or anything? I said no! Sorry! Jeez. Not so sure. I could have sworn that you wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. Okay. It's time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yeah, alright. Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. Or as English say, when the pigs fly. Lobster whistles on top of the mountain. I like it. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Now look at this. Look on top of the table there really is huge. There's a pen with it too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? Writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. No. It means he wasn't here at the time of the murder. It's the way to the second-class area of the ship. Something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it. Just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. Might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. That seems fair. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started with my talk of running away. There's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. Okay, I think that's everything. Let's try this again, this time with feeling. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. No answer. Out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. Is it locked? Annoying. Ah! What was that? Came from inside the cabin. Pump, what was that? Such a high-pitched scream. Must have been a woman. Stand aside! About to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes! I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Sir, have you tried just the door? Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. That's what I said. Doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? The bucket. I think we should go in. So time to think about stress relief. Class cabinet. Who are you? Western gentleman. This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. Cat. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. Oh yeah? What about in that chest, huh? That's where I was hiding, was in a little chest like that. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. In that case, I just screamed. Get out! All of you! Now! Also, it's really awkward because we walked through that door back there. And somehow we got like all the way in the room before the old man had this confrontation. Now please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimesby Roylott, I believe? Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt? No. I am a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. You're becoming more and more suspicious, Sholmes. He uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. I distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. There wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid! How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk? Don't look at me! Oh my! Did you see that? Uh-huh! Uh-huh, Bubbles? Tell me no. Boom! The trunk moved. That's not what we did. Did we say there was a person? No. Mr. Naruhodo? Yup. Case just shook. Leave. Now. Otherwise, call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor. Mr. Grimesby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. A strange Russian man is hiding something. couldn't agree more. Can you hear my thoughts? See if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Mr. Royalon, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh. Do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. Okay, cool. Not getting anywhere here. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott? Cool. Da. What do you think you are doing? Nothing. It's my cabin. Get out. Just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No. Pretty please? What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. Doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree. You'd think I could do something. Hey you. Yeah, please, Mr. Sholmes. You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh, fancy. It would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, spot on. For once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. Correct? Do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Vodka? Why, the truth, of course. Seems like a lame... Alright. It should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Sir. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Well then, what you're about to see may well astound you. For I'm about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. What? Could this man be more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me, is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone, for that matter, but... That's right. And Mr. Sholmes... This man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting. But I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence! What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Just as I thought. Yes, I've quite made up my mind now. Oh. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I've reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Okay. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. I think he's giving his pet cat a haircut. Are you not? Oh? Number two, the other conclusion I have drawn, you are, this very moment, no less in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with the nervous tension as you realize you've been discovered. Does it not? Ugh! Oh, Artisan, never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. A single glance can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What ineffable twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And I've experienced the astounding impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. Ooh, excuse me. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. Looks like somehow we looked at Mr. Sholmes' conclusions, right? How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Oh, the game is afoot. Talk 1, conclusion. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place? Oh gosh, this is a different part of gameplay. Scissors. It's the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? Or he's cutting up the newspaper in his pocket, but that's fine. The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper. In particular, the fascinating front page article. Which it would appear you've read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Violin Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Really? Revolutionary villain? Really? As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You're the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Huh. What is happening? Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. So, hold on. Just on a new story mode in place of autoplay, allowing you to press automatically without pressing any buttons. Okay, no. Okay, it is off. Got it. Oh yes, Mr. Roylant. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. Okay, Mr. Profiler. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, one slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me. We're not well suited to a life of crime, are we? You careless coot. You're careless coot. I don't know. Bubbles! Bubbles! Careless coot betrays you. I don't know what that word is, so we'll just show that. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Back to the article. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. There is another, most stimulating article. We turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina Novovich of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. According to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. This seems unlike these other deductions. This concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Alaminsky! So I'm on board for I was kind of okay with the first part, but Susato-san? That wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about. Was it? Well, stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know? That did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here for a moment, please? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all, go on. Well, to start with, there's a newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier. At the time, I believe I told you the man is a revolutionary. Well able to revolutionize his own appearance. Get out! I'm gonna throw him off the boat. I'm gonna throw Sholmes off the boat. Fairness, Mr. Sholmes. That's right, does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing. The part of him about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small. It is clearly too small. You'd like to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed real hard. I suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I know? Oh, she's 15. Then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain liveliness in their bodies. Vinegar. Such a sour bunch would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear. Everything of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, this whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. That they're bad? The thing is, the powers of observation are, well, they're magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off. Your idea of a little, maybe a little off itself, Miss Susato. Just one or two keywords in his deductions seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords in his deductions. Yes, very tactfully. Feel sure if we could do that? We'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. You are a lot of work, Mr. Sholmes. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry. Take a moment to look at your wrists. Wrists? Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did? Who? I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. Don't believe it. How did you? Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. Why would I want that? I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and spectacular reasoning. His logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Royland, obviously what catches eye in the first place. It's the enormous pair of shears in your hand. I would agree with that. So, what could you possibly want with such an implement? So you're, of course, staring us in the face. On the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. That's the one I'm not sure about. I'm not sure. Do you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? No. No, that's something I'll never have to worry about. Doesn't quite sit right with me, though. Doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either. Which is, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's switch a keyword here, Naruto-san. See if it helps matters. Alright, but how? First, we're taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott. It's really his beard they intend to use those shears on. Exactly. Rather than newspaper, we should find something that seems to fit the set of Mr. Shulman's deduction better. What? Leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Anyway, let's see if there's anything else. Anyone could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? Wait, what? Mr. Roylott, why do you have golden locks sticking out the back of your hair? What's this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. He's the ballerina. Oh my gosh. No. Color's not the point. Point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? How's it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Yes, it's true. It's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Yeah, something's not right here.
Yes!
You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks that you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. Not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair. One still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I'd managed to cut off my hair, I would have suspected. Or just tucked it in your jacket. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. Evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. False. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise. Did you? I mean, it made sense after once there was blonde hair and there was the dancer. Also, the other article. What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruto-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? Look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing facts with Mr. Sholmes. Just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. You're having fun. It's strictly business. Strictly go. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Anyway, let's focus on the next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, it's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. So I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. This is interesting. Found something relevant, Naruto-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. Can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. Look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She's very pretty, isn't she? Suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? Whoa! Wow! Jeez! I don't know. Getting any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thanks. Everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. You guys are in the same room. Like, let's not pretend that he just appeared out of nowhere. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She's, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Bubbles, you've missed so much. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? What's a Pavlova? Huh. Huh. So you're saying this girl is the dessert? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. How much is a ruble? How much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Sato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It seems the director is beside herself with worry. Now, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Must be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? Does seem to be a Russian thing to do. I'm going to find out the response, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes!
Yes! The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ah! Goop! Got her. Ow, ow. Whew. Those eyes. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Ballerina on the run. Solved. So she's stealing a tiara. Now, it's my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently, honestly, than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. Proof of your crimes is before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. problem is the ballerina. She's right in front of our eyes. It's clear she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. Look, please, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Maybe? Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. What? 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 Too easy. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara. Never seen anything like it. Those real diamonds, do you think? Naruhodo-san, try it on. What? Me? No. Is it usually girls who wear tiaras? You like to try it on? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful. Not as beautiful as you. Does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently.
Yes!
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you've committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Killed her. Got her. Loved her earrings, though. I have no one. No family. No friends. I'm all alone. I need money. I don't... This doesn't feel right. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from... How do you say? An earl? Of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old. And she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I'll tell you everything. There's no point to hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case, yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case even before I've ever laid eyes on them. Dear me. We're not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless Kudawali betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. Nope. He's completely changed tack with his deductions now. Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe... Why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? Just a wild guess, surely. Oh. Do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem like clear that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, it's true. Still, Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. And there has to be a reason why she won't open her case. Must be somewhere in the same area, if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree, it's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case will be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. This is a charming little picture, isn't it? What is it? Someone climbing a steep mountainside? Ascending one, it seems to me. We've been on the flat sea for a while, maybe you start seeing hills and mountains, everything. I'm guessing it has more to do with the rules of passage. So the rules for passage for travel aboard this SS Burya. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. There it is. It's exactly the same notice in our cabin, too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Dear, the punishment would be severe, Naruhodo-san. Probably be left adrift in the freezing cold ocean. That seems unlikely. Shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? Yep, there it is.
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers will not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from the carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet. Got her. Take that, Miss Pavlova. Possession of a prohibited animal. Deduction complete. Elementary. So clearly you aren't who you said you were.
No, I'm not Grimsby Roylott. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. There's a huge steamship with a vast crew. Should we have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. You intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, it was just you about to cut your own hair. Who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? Had it been her? That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. Like a full set of pipes, if you ask me, but alright. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I'm sure they would come looking for me. So I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself? So no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man? I see. Put on the fur hat and fake beard? Just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper. Right on the page, there was a picture of me.
Weren't prepared.
So frightened. Couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. Picked up the scissors in my hand and...
At that precise moment, we walked in through the knowingly unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that from time to time.
Was we even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know.
Who's the kitty?
What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right. It is my dearest friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, say it to any of the crew.
Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us in as much detail as you can muster about the events of last night.
Yes, alright. I will tell you.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Isn't it something Mr. Shulm's great deduction? Wait a minute. There's certainly something, yes. Just not entirely sure what. At least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. And one more thing. Oh, yes, what? Observe your wrists. My... Son of a...
My hands are cuffed again.
But how? True to my word, I've restored your shackles. When and why?
Just a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment.
Ha! Can't it? Really?
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. Can't go on not knowing. To find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was.
Well. Go ahead and tell us. Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night?
One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast.
The man who died. He was a friend of mine.
Oh,
That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night?
perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example. Perhaps people talking?
Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest? Perhaps its steam engine exploded? Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened?
Miss Pavlova? Is there anything you can tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me.
Oh, I see. Why are you running away?
You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet? Yes. I'm traveling to Great Britain. And from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life.
You wish to forget? A challenging proposition. And you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
The tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water. We must dance all over the world.
Aw.
I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me.
So you ran away to protect yourself.
Yes, and the crew of this ship, they've all been kind to me.
Do they know you as a lovely lady?
Let me come on board. They said I could hide in this cabin.
They did. Cute. That is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova. It creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does.
What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Huh? Oh, yeah. Of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum, I'm not sure, but... So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right?
I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh, please. Don't tell. Don't tell any of the crew. They found my precious.
And the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. Being rude. So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes. So utterly reassuring.
What sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy?
It is, isn't it? No. Oh. Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Nope. Look at the knocked over books and everything. Okay? It's cat. Huh. You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? Oh. Do they not have small rabbits there, then? May well ask. I have no idea. Gonna punch you in the face. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerinas, friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. Sir?
Really?
No. Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs. When adversity strikes, satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you eat your friends. Gotta remember that. Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed. Ha 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 ha! He honestly doesn't quite trust us yet. Something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe we'll just shed some light on it. has to be that, but speak to this conundrum. Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. Huh? However, the Sisboria stopped by no port last night. Ah, yeah, of course. So how's it, pray, that you come to be aboard? Now think about it. Someone outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. Just if we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard. Yeah, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. Angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry, what was it? This is how the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. That is how I came here too, descended from the heavens, because I am an angel. I mean, I believe it. Hey. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. Mr. Sholmes once said, I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. Seems Miss Pavlova is the same. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. I'm sure. Quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, in fact. Yes, yes, Mr. Showy. Anyway, doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. Yep, I don't speak Russian, but that's fine. This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m., you can hear a faint whistling sound. Then a few minutes later, 3:05 a.m., looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. The speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. What, Pump and Dump? Don't worry, we won't have you travel in a suitcase. Oh. Miss Pavlova? Something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? Pump and Dump. Am I having me lower your window too much? Looks like it. No. I don't know anything. Oh. Seems unlikely, but alright. Oh! Excuse me, Mr. Roylott. Yes? What is it? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once. Please. Alright. I will come now. Yeah? Must leave. Now. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Roylott. Get out. The passenger said out. Or you want me to throw you out? So we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later. What a pity. So we lost our chance. We still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. We were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. To be continued. Okay, so I am admittedly getting tired. So while I realize that it's still early yet, I think we're going to stop there so we have a nice, safe, complete place to stop. Yeah. So, but that way next time we can pick up from the beginning of this, this portion, this chapter or whatever, however it is properly labeled. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time. We do more when we attempt more of this. Yeah. Tomorrow, at this rate, my assumption would be able to do more of this tomorrow, but I'm not for certain on that. Guess you have to check in then and see. But do appreciate you all coming out tonight. Thank you all for watching this. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this stream is adjourned. Good night, all.